Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Woo.
Welcome to KSGE.
Well,
Yeah.
we're so excited to present today to you the KMS Academy stage. And my name is Daniel Bruns, and I'm a global creative stylist for KMS. And
I am Sage Kinney, and I'm a national artist for KMS, and I'm so excited to show you guys some cool hair today. Are you guys excited? Yes? All right.
so we got 3 looks, and we're going to start straight away.
Yes. So I want to give you guys a quick little sneak peek of what we have going on here. If you guys follow me, you know that I do a lot of braids, a lot of updos. And I just am going to show you how we're going to get this beautiful caged braid effect. And we're going to use a different technique to put it together besides bobby pins. So the first thing I want to show is that I put in a crimped texture in here just so that I'd have something else to hold on to. And I'm using the Beach Styling Cream. This is a new product, just to give me a little bit of stick as I work with my braids.
So I brought you a haircut today. I do love texture. I love curls and waves, and especially in the last few years, I've really started working with a lot of different textures, and also I think that's what KMS is like really good for. So what I'm doing here is I'm showing with the razor, I'm cutting with the razor in the dry hair. So I prepared the hair before because the hair is a little bit dry. So I used a lot of Moisture Repair Revival Cream. So that gives you a lot of moisture, and then dried the hair with that because her hair was really in need for it. So what I'm doing then now is I'm pulling little strands and go with the razor on top and just do little but strong movements and let the hair then pop back up. So that keeps the ends closed as well.
Okay, so if you guys can see what's happening over here, to get that caged effect, you're going to start with your 3-strand braid. And then you're only going to be grabbing hair from one side, and it's whatever side you want to create that caged effect on. When you cross that over, we're just locking it in with the other piece of hair without grabbing any hair to it, and that's what's going to create your wall as we move.
So what I always do, especially when I cut hair dry, I keep changing the blade quite often. So because the real sharpness of the blade goes quite quickly, so in order to keep the hair like cut the ends sharp and nice so they stay nice, I change the blade and then carry on. So now I'm just did the perimeter, so I took this nice and short going up to the front. So what I do want to do is like create the shape going upwards and then later like enhance her curls even more. I think another thing what I'm watching out for is that I don't take too big strands. As smaller the strands, as cleaner and as better it is for the hair.
So now you guys can see I'm finishing this braid off. And then we're going to petal the braid out so that we can create this flower effect onto the top. Okay, so how we're going to do that is we're just going to start pulling from the top of this braid. And this technique is technically called blousing. So you just want to kind of use your fingers intricately and create these petals from large to small as we work our way down.
I think a few years ago, I wouldn't actually cut hair dry. I would always do, the wet cutting, sectioning, very clean, very precise. But then I think we all have to open up sometimes to ways we maybe would not prefer to do. So, and then I got into like cutting hair dry. I still prefer to cut the hair, to wash the hair, moisturize it, look after it, and then dry it and then cut it. Because then I get let's say a cleaner result, a neater curl, so I can really see what the hair's like rather than when maybe the client just walks in and maybe slept on one side, you got that squashed or something.
Okay. So now how we're going to fasten this rose into her head. We're not going to use bobby pins because you'll see them. So we're going to start with our braid. We're going to take extension thread in a curved hook. We're going to put that into the bottom of this braid, loop the hook through so that we can secure this together. Then I'm going to start spinning this around almost like a little donut. Following the spine of the braid, so that's going to be the side that we didn't fluff out. And as we start putting this in, I'm just going to start sewing it together so that it's going to maintain its shape. And this is going to allow this to lie 3D onto her head. So coming right through into the middle. Rolling this all the way around. And then to fasten this on here, I'm just going to pull this as tight as I need it to go. Fan this out. And I'm literally going to just sew that needle right into the base of her hair, which having that crimp texture in there is going to help me anchor this right into the base. Coming through, looping this in, just to lock this right into the petals. Daniel, how's that haircut turning out over there?
I'm good to talk, because I'm just mesmerized by seeing like how you're sewing it in. Still watching my haircut. So I'm coming to the fringe now, and you see I've done this side. So what I'm doing is really looking, obviously, at her face shape, but she does want to see a little bit out of the hair, so doesn't want the hair to be covered. So what I do, I always start with like one strand and just give it a little test where the hair gonna spring back. I really made sure the hair is dried on its max. So the curl is now dried to the curliest it can be. So it will be then not too long if she would leave the salon. And then I would just work around her face shape, pull in the strands there in front and pull them and let them jump backwards. And then you can see that the face shape is really visible and starts really looking really cute, I think.
All right, so when you're done sewing this, you're just going to tie a knot, cut off your thread. We're just going to zhuzh up her curls a little bit to give it a more ethereal feel. But what do you guys think? Something cool? Do we like it? Open this up.
So styling-wise, when I dried the hair, I started forward drying the hair and then backwards. And I think especially drying curls is a matter of patience, passion as well, but patience. So if you try to speed up too fast, you don't, get maybe the nice curl you want. So, and then what I do when the hair is like sort of 95% dry, I just push the hair a little bit in the shape I want, and especially the weak parts, maybe the top or the crown area. And I'm using these little flat clips and just put them in and just kind of like, so it holds the shape there. So I have like a few flat clips in there, which I take out now. So for the last 5%, I might start cutting my hair cut. And when I get to the clip, I just take it out. So it just holds up the shape a little bit. And with her hair, you have to make sure you don't forget one. So take them out. And then, well, excitement. We have a new product. It's called Conscious Style Beach Style Cream. Sage and me had the chance to test that already a few weeks ago, so it's really exciting. It's a matte product. We're going to explain to you a little bit more later. So what I'm going to do now, I'm using a little bit of the new, very first beach style cream from KMS. So I put it onto the tip of my fingers, rub that in, and I'm going to ask Vanessa to turn forward and just pop your head forward. So now I want to bring that onto the roots, so not so much in the ends. Oh, there we go, another clip. Told you. And another one. Hey, it's like Christmas. So get the fingers onto the roots, because I don't want to get too much in the ends, because it's a matte product. It doesn't have shine. No, I don't want the shine in the ends, but I want the roots. So I'm going to massage now the roots like quite now. She's smiling. She's liking it. It's good. So that gives you the tip. you know, you want. So just massage it into the roots and just gets it out. Sometimes I think you have to be a bit brave after you set hair or set curls to go in and not be shy, try and like mess it up a little bit. So now where almost all the product is gone, then I slightly go in and just kind of like start playing with the shape, you know? And this like gives you like so much hair. It's like it really holds it up and you really get like a nice shape to play with. And then I can just go and finish a little bit more with the razor and get some more bits and bobs off I want. And that's it.
Yep. What do you guys think? We like this? We
Okay,
have one more
I hope
cool
you
look
like
for
our
you guys
first.
too.
All right, let's come to Eileen. So Sage and me were put together to do this presentation for you. And we had 3 models, so we decided to do one together. And we both have a passion for...
We're Fashion Week, so we both work Fashion Week all over the world at this point. And what we're seeing on the runway right now is a lot of wet, slick-backed looks, so we thought that would be something really cool to show you guys. And as you can see, Daniel has already pre-prepped some of the hair on the side so you could see how we're going to do this for the rest of the top. So this is definitely a partner activity. So you want to like the person that you're working with for sure.
Yeah. We get on.
It's fine. No, we actually have really bonded over this whole thing.
So what am I doing here? You see I'm using like a really fine tooth comb, the finest one I have in my bag. And now I take sections, and just the sections are that big that, you know, I can still work the product too. And because I don't like to get my hands dirty, so I put this on, you know, like a toothbrush, you know. It's but the thing is, when you're trying to do like a really neat wet look, and wet looks have been out there for the last few years, and I don't think they're going to go. I think they're just getting more exciting. But if you have, if you want to get them like nice and neat, you kind of have to have your hands clean. Otherwise, you touch the hair like I do now, and then you got the gel there, and then you got the gel everywhere. So we just wanted right on the roots to just create this like nice shiny effect. And the fine tooth comb brings the hair like right, like really clean, really neat backwards. And I can go into the ends and just kind of brush it out. So let's do 2 more sections.
What's nice about too, as we've done this at least 3 times while we've been prepping for this, is it washes out super nicely. We haven't left with any residue. And it hasn't pulled on her hair at all, even when it's fully dry.
Yeah, and the styling gel is actually ideal for this because you can work it onto dry hair. You know, it doesn't
flake,
it goes in easily. Sometimes you have to mix products because, you know, but you don't need to do that with this. And then last bit, she's got a little fringe, which that's gone now. So just take your time, really like work it in. You know, you see the gel goes in really nicely. And then you already get a nice effect. So there's one more thing I would like to show. You know, I know if you can see that we have on the side here, we have these little comb lines. So if you want to get like these comb lines into the wet hair, it's always good to start with a fine tooth comb, and then you change on to like a thick tooth comb. So obviously as wide as the teeth are, that gives you the lines in here. So then what I do now, I'm just going to connect to the side, just go through all the way and bring it down. So I don't know if the camera maybe can pick that up. So you see, I just start from the front, bring it all the way through and just run it through, and then you see you get like different, like a bit higher. Yeah, thanks. You see, you get this really nice comb lines.
Ridges.
Ridges.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny, as we've been working together, there's definitely a lot of words that are not the same, and we've been figuring out which ones those are, and ridges is one of them, apparently. So now, another thing that we have seen on the runway, if you guys haven't already, is that ponytails are huge, whether they're high up, they're down in the middle. So we decided to create something a little bit more interesting and not fasten this into such a ponytail, but to actually use her super long hair, which is no extensions. This is all natural, which is amazing. So what we did is we pre-prepped these beautiful braids to work as tether and cording, and work on her natural texture, so that way the difference between shine and matte would really play off of each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this down. Your partner's going to keep the hair nice and smooth. And then we're going to take the cording, so we can smooth that out a little bit. Yep. And we're going to start winding this around. We prepped these braids also with the beach styling cream, which really made them feel like actual leather cording, which has been so fun to work with. One more wraparound.
So as we said, like Sage and me both have a passion for fashion. So we do work sometimes on fashion shows, and you know, that's exactly what you do there. You pair up, you work together, you know, like one person does this, one does this. And I mean, I think one thing Sage is like really good at is putting these braids in. I love and appreciate really if someone does such a nice work. I think a little applause for this amazing like little braids she did.
The last thing that we wanted to touch on is, again, you can see the theme of today is this beach style cream, right? We're going to talk about it in a minute. But what we want to do to really play off shiny to matte is put a little bit more of this in our hands. Rough it up a little bit. You want to make sure that it's invisible in your hands before you put it in the hair, or it will turn white onto the hair. We're going to come through and just zhuzh this into the bottom of her ponytail a little bit. And then let it fall. Take her cape off, and we want to show you how beautiful this looks as she walks. Clips out. Mm-hmm. Do we like that from the sides?
I mean, the beach style cream is like really the new thing. We're going to be later on the booth, like we're going to presenting the product there. You can find out all about it. But I think now
we'll get her.
We have a little walk, and then we're back out in a minute. So please wait for us. We'll be back in a second.
We're not done just yet.